but it's up to you to do your own research. It's up to you to think, like, is this advice sound for me? Does it fit my criteria, my life, my goals? Is this fit the life that I'm trying to build? If so, then use the advice. Like Tony Robbins says, try it on. If it fits, wear it. If it doesn't fit, don't wear it. But I've had so many clients that have worked with me throughout the past couple of years that their entire lives have changed simply because I've given them the tools and the guidance to believe in themselves again, to remember their magic, to remember who they are at their core, which is this beautiful, loving soul, this beautiful light that has so many talents and skills and has the ability to truly create the life that they've always wanted. Hello, and welcome back to Journey of a Fearless Female, the podcast. I am your guest this week. Yeah, by request from some of you in the audience who send me DMs and emails that you want more episodes of just me. And well, here I am, and I am going to make more of an effort to do solo episodes. As much as I love my guests, I am so thankful for each and every one of you who tune in to my podcast. And if you guys are requesting solo episodes, I am going to listen to my audience. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast every week. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. I think people don't get that creating content, editing your podcast and your YouTube videos, it takes a lot of work. And so for that, thank you. Thank you to my editor, Alex, my virtual assistant, who's just a star. But the two of us, we create this show, and I am beyond thankful that you guys tune in every week. And another great win this week is that we just hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching me on YouTube and you have yet to subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I am exactly 1,100 subscribers on my YouTube now. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Okay, so let's talk about what I want to talk about, right? Okay. I have been doing a lot of driving. In the last 2 weeks, I've had to go to Fresno multiple times for family emergencies. Travis's parents live up in Fresno. And for those of you who are close to me and know what's going on, thank you, first of all, for reaching out and sending me your love and your prayers. And it was all well received. And thank you so much. I really needed that support. But on my long drives to Fresno, which is about 4.5 hours, I listen to podcasts. One podcast in particular that I really, really love. Her name is Heather McDonald. She's the host of Juicy Scoop, and she did an episode expose on Jay Shetty. And that's a whole nother episode that I don't even want to touch on, but you should listen to it. But in the podcast, she says that she doesn't understand why someone would want to hire a life coach or a spiritual mentor. She said, yeah, I mean, if you were a real estate agent and you hired another real estate agent to show you the ropes, then she could understand why you would hire a life coach. Or a life coach that specializes in real estate. And I get that. I understand why she thinks the way she thinks. I've listened to her for a long time. I've actually been a big fan of hers since she was on Chelsea Lately. I've even been to one of her comedy shows here in Irvine. So this is in no way tarnishing or diminishing who she is, because I absolutely am a fan. But she did mention on her podcast that she doesn't understand why someone would hire a life coach. Now, because I've been a fan of hers for a long time, I know that she had a beautiful upbringing and a great childhood. Her parents, like she says on her shows, were a delight. And not everyone got the privilege of being able to have parents that were a delight. And no shade to her, but I didn't grow up with parents who were a delight. Instead, I grew up with parents who were emotionally immature. And I constantly sought that guidance of what a normal parent would have given a child while they were learning how to be and grow and move in this world or in this society or in this life. So I think that people who don't have parents or a grandparent or a significant person in their life that they can turn to to get sound advice, they should get a life coach. They should hire a mentor, because it is important for us to have someone guiding us, giving us sound advice, holding us accountable, being our ultimate cheerleader. Like, I don't know what it's like to have a parent who is there lovingly supporting you and like excited to be, in your life. I don't know what that's like. As you know, I watch a lot of Bravo reality TV, which is why I listen to Heather McDonald's podcast, Juicy Scoop. She does a lot of interviews of Bravo celebrities, and I was recently watching an episode on Summer House. I think it's the Vineyard one, and one of the girls in the show, she approached a guy, and the guy kind of turned her down, and then she felt really devastated by being turned down and rejected, and she was crying in her bed, and she was self-doubting, self-loathing. You could hear her negative self-talk, and she called her mom, and her mom was like, you better cheer up, you're the best, and blah blah blah. And if you didn't have someone to call in moments like that, whether you were rejected by a guy, or you lost your job, or you're going through a divorce, or I don't know, got in a car accident. If you don't have someone that you can call to get sound advice, loving support, and kind words, because some of us do have people we call, but they could be emotionally immature, or they can make you feel even more stupid, or fuel your self-doubt, or make you feel less than, then yeah, you should hire a life coach or mentor. I consider myself a spiritual mentor because I do talk about God, source, the divine. I do introduce that. I will never, ever shove religion down your throat or tell you this is what you should believe, because that's not how I operate. But I do say that I'm a spiritual mentor because I will talk about God, the divine, the infinite intelligence that I believe created all of us. I have different beliefs, and that's the reason why, if you do decide, because you didn't have a network of people, or you don't have the supportive mom or the supportive dad, or you have nobody that you can look up to, and you're really thinking, I do need a mentor, I do need a life coach that can help guide me and give me that support, or give me sound advice when I need it, or help me get out of my negative mindset spiral, then do your research. Because there are a lot of life coaches that shouldn't be life coaches. There are a lot of people who just go get a certificate and think, oh, I'm a life coach and I'm going to help you teach this, this, and this, and that, or whatever. I personally have done so much research on this craft. I have attended conferences with Tony Robbins, with Gabrielle Bernstein, with Jack Canfield, with Oprah. Like, I have read countless books, and I continue to read. There are times where I got it wrong, and I was following someone that I really liked, and then I watched a documentary on them. It changed my entire perspective on who they are. Now, I do my own research, and I tell people, I'm going to give you the resources, the tools, and I will constantly send you stuff, information, but it's up to you to do your own research. It's up to you to think, like, is this advice sound for me? Does it fit my criteria, my life, my goals? Is this fit the life that I'm trying to build? If so, then use the advice. Like Tony Robbins says, try it on. If it fits, wear it. If it doesn't fit, don't wear it. But I've had so many clients that have worked with me throughout the past couple of years that their entire lives have changed simply because I've given them the tools and the guidance to believe in themselves again, to remember their magic, to remember who they are at their core, which is this beautiful, loving soul, this beautiful light that has so many talents and skills and has the ability to truly create the life that they've always wanted. So if you've been thinking about hiring a life coach or a mentor, or you don't know what exactly are you going to get from that transaction, then jump on a call. Now, you can jump on a call with me. I do discovery calls all the time. And there's even been calls where somebody jumps on the call with me and I say, you don't need life coaching. You already know all of this stuff. You just need some time to realign yourself. Or I'll tell them, I'm not the coach for you, but I know these coaches would be better for you. So I think that you should do your research. If you're thinking about hiring a life coach, well, first of all, let's rewind. If you've never done any work on yourself ever, and you're having a dark night of the soul, like I was just having this conversation with my husband, I think that a lot of people, when they go through something huge, tumultuous change in their life, whether it's a divorce, whether they lost their job, whether they just got, into a car accident and they're just like super depressed or whatever. If you're going through a dark night of the soul and you've never done any therapy, I think that's where you should start. You should definitely start there first, is go to therapy. I love talk therapy. It's where I tell all my clients they should start, because talk therapy is a place where everybody can have a safe place to talk about what happened to them and to really let out their story, because everyone has a story and everyone should be heard. And everyone deserves that environment where they can feel safe, where they can tell their story and they can be heard. So start with talk therapy. Now fast forward, if you've done enough talk therapy and you still feel stuck in life and you don't know where to go, then definitely look to hire a life coach or a mentor. Do your research. Now, when I tell you do your research, I'm saying, like, let's say you found me and you're like, oh my gosh, I really love Paola and I want to hire her as my life coach. Not only should you jump on a discovery call with me, but you should look at my website, and I have a lot of testimonials on my website. All of these women, you can even message me and I'll give you their emails or their phone numbers, and you can text them and say, how was it working with Paola? Was it worth my time? Is it worth your time or your energy or your money? So I wish I would have done that. It's one thing that I wish, like I've hired many mentors and many life coaches, and some of them weren't worth the money. Some of them I paid thousands and thousands of dollars and I didn't get a return on my investment. So I wish I would have done the research and talked to some of their testimonials and asked them, their past clients, was it worth the investment? So do your research and find the life coach that you specifically need. So for example, if you need a business life coach, if you need a life coach that's going to help you with your trauma, your trauma with your mother or your trauma with your father, or let's say you grew up in, father who has an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever. There are coaches that specifically help people with that sort of scenario. There's people that just only work with women who grew up with toxic moms, or grew up with, an abusive dad or whatever it is. So do your research. Whoever it is that you are thinking, I need to hire them because I feel really connected, I really resonate with their content, then go to their website, look at their testimonials, and then reach out to the people that are on their videos and say, was it really worth hiring them? And then invest in yourself. It is so worth investing in yourself. I spent so many years wasting my money on alcohol, clothes, food, trips, because I was trying to fill the void in my heart, and I used all the wrong things. That's where everybody thinks it's something outside of them that's going to fix them, when really it's inner work. Everything that you want, even in the Bible, it says the kingdom lies within. This is why I call myself a spiritual mentor, because I will talk about the Bible and talk about spirit and talk about the divine and the infinite intelligence. So if that's not like up your alley and you don't want to be told, but first of all, I will never tell you, you must do this and this is what you should believe. I will tell you what I believe, and I will tell you what resonates with me. And if it doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to believe it. But either way, if that kind of language doesn't resonate with you and you just do not want to talk about the woo-woo and you do not want to talk about like spirit or the divine, then I'm not the life coach for you. But there are many life coaches out there. And I really ask you to do your research. Don't just hire them because they have one certificate. Hire them, like interview them as much as they're going to interview you to being their client. Almost every single life coach has a discovery call or a clarity call where you can jump on a 30-minute Zoom call with them and figure out whether or not this is something you want to do. But honestly, I wouldn't be the woman I am today if I didn't hire those life coaches at all. I mean, even the bad ones, I learned a valuable lesson there. So it is so worth having a coach in your life, especially if you did not get the joy of having parents who were emotionally mature, supportive, and loving. If you grew up in an environment where you did not have that, like I did not have people I could look up to. And even though I had my sisters, who I truly appreciate them and I love them so much, they wanted me to fit into their box. And that's why all three of them are teachers, because they were driven by, this is all we know, just do this and follow my path. And as I love them to death, but I just couldn't see myself as being a teacher in front of 30 students every day for the rest of my life. It just wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to get past that limiting belief that, that was the only way of making money and that was the only way of being part of society. There had to have been more. And so maybe I rebelled, but I love what I get to do now. I love this podcast. I love that I'm a coach. I love that I'm writing my book. It was a long road to get to here. And sometimes I even tell people I learned from the School of Hard Knocks when they ask me, where are you certified? Even though I've been to so many different events and attended, and I have a lot of certificates, but it doesn't matter because I was certified by the School of Hard Knocks. I have survived many toxic narcissistic relationships, including the one with my mother, boyfriends who were abusive. I've had abusive bosses, abusive friends. I have lost my job, been unemployed for over a year and a half. I had to build myself up from ground zero. I have been broke. I have been rich. I've been in different rooms of I've been 5150, which is a psychotic hold. I've been through it all. I think I have basically experienced a lot of different scenarios, and I have managed to get through them. And I have learned so many so many life lessons that I teach to my clients, and I learn through the School of Hard Knocks. And I've learned that I have no control and that I have to just be in the present. And I have so many tools under my belt, and I still continue to learn new tools from different teachers, because I will never say that I know it all, because like I say all the time, the cosmic joke is when you think you know it all, you actually don't. So that is why I'm constantly looking for new mentors, new coaches, new books, new people. I'm learning all the time, and so should you, because it is our job here on this earth to be lifelong students, and just to continue to learn. And once you learn, you can teach others. So thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you again for watching me on YouTube. Again, if you have not hit subscribe, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you are interested in working with me and you want to just interview me to see whether or not I would be a good fit as a life coach for you, then go ahead and click on my discovery link in the show notes, and let's set up a call one-on-one and see where you're at in life and where you want to be and how I could serve you. I have different programs, from one-on-one coaching to my subscription-based group, which is called the Fearless Power Group. And we meet once a month, and you get access with me through Facebook chat. So whatever suits your monetary budget, we'll figure it out. And again, if it's not me, find someone that will fit your lifestyle, someone that will help guide you and get you to the next level in your life. I just recently posted, I'm going to end with this. Kobe had a coach. Malcolm X had mentors. Multiple people like Tony Robbins, Oprah, they all have teachers. Like, I love that Oprah always used to talk about her favorite teachers. I mean, she has books and books of people that she learns from. Anyone who tells you that they don't need guidance is tripping. If your coach doesn't have a coach, get a different coach. If your therapist doesn't have a therapist, get a new therapist. Humility is embracing the journey of lifelong learning and recognizing that we all are students and teachers of this classroom called life. That's by Brandon Collinsworth. So I totally agree. I reposted this on my social media. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me at fearlessfemale_coach, or my personal one, which is at Paola Rosser. I would mention TikTok, but unfortunately that might be banned and gone, and all of my audience that I have there and all the friendships that I created there. I hope you guys follow me here because I will miss TikTok a lot. But for the time being, follow me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, and I'm excited. And make sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thank you again for listening to Journey of a Fearless Female. I'm your host, Paola Rosser. If you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual mentor, you can book a free discovery call with me at www.fearlessfemale.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at fearlessfemale_coach, subscribe to my YouTube channel at fearlessfemale, or find me on TikTok. I'm under at paola.rosser. And if you love this episode, make sure you hit subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave a review. I read every single review, and I truly appreciate the time you spend writing it.